Thank you for staying with us on The Pulse. Now time for the sports. I'm Gary Al Smith. Over the weekend, the conversation that's been going on ever since Kevin-Prince Boateng signed for Barcelona continued in our studios. This time, it was the turn of veteran journalist Kwabena Yeboah to weigh in on issues. And if you followed his commentary on this topic for the last 9 years, you wouldn't be surprised at his views with Nathaniel Atto.
I do not think that I do not have patience for people who think that we owe them anything and think that are bigger than the nation. I mean, Kevin-Prince Boateng, this is a gentleman who we all loved years back when his team was relegated Portsmouth, and he was the one pushing the frontiers for us to get him involved in a national team. We got him involved, and in 2010 he was absolutely fantastic. He was brilliant. What people forget that if you're constituting a team, it's not just about who can play. It's also about temperament. It's also about discipline. So, but people have different opinions, and I'm not going to argue with whoever holds a divergent opinion. If the manager of the side decides that moving forward, he wants him to be part of the team, so be it. But if I was in charge of the team, there is absolutely no way. Suddenly, the issue of Kevin-Prince Boateng pops up. Should he be part of the team? Should he be part of the team?
What do you think? Should he be part of the team? Would you welcome him back?
My position has not changed at all. I don't mince words on that. I do not think that I do not have patience for people who think that we owe them anything and think that are bigger than the nation. I mean, Kevin-Prince Boateng, this is a gentleman who we all loved years back when his team was relegated Portsmouth, and he was the one pushing the frontiers for us to get him involved in a national team. We got him involved, and in 2010 he was absolutely fantastic. He was brilliant, and I've heard a number of commentators suggest that he was one of the reasons why we even got that far in South Africa. But what happened after South Africa? What did he do? He turned his back on us for the next 4 years. 4 years. During that time, people were committed to the national cause, pay their dues to the national team, and qualified us to the World Cup. And what did he do? He proved very, very opportunistic at the time. As soon as we were on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup, he came back.
And he scored a goal.
He scored a goal, but what happened? He showed so much indiscipline during the World Cup, isn't it? And was thrown out of the World Cup. Yes, he's not playing badly, but what people forget that if you're constituting a team, it's not just about who can play. It's also about temperament. It's also about discipline. And there's a reason that Roy Keane, for instance, the great Roy Keane, Ireland threw him out of the World Cup when they were on the world scene. We can cite example after example after example. What happened to the great Cantona? Wasn't he thrown out of the World Cup before France won the World Cup on home soil? You can go on and on. So it's not just a question of you do not need a character who will be cancerous to the dressing room. It's a team effort, okay? So, but people have different opinions, and I'm not going to argue with whoever holds a divergent opinion. If the manager of the side decides that moving forward, he wants him to be part of the team, so be it. But if I was in charge of the team, there is absolutely no way that for all the commitment shown by those who have held the fort up till this stage, I would bring him. There's no I'm going to do.
Right. Next up is something that has come up in the last couple of hours. Ghana's Normalization Committee of the Ghana Football Association has given approval to have a competition organized for the Women's League clubs. Now, the 16-club competition is scheduled tentatively to begin on the weekend of February 9. There are a few questions that have arisen from this statement from the decision by the Normalization Committee. And Ridwan Ibrahim Asante of the Joy Sports Desk joins me on the phone. Hello, Rid. Hello, Ridwan.
Hi, Gary.
Yes, thank you for joining us. So you've, just like us, heard about the decision to start the Women's League tournament. What do you think of the decision, especially with all the issues that have had to do with the organization of the male version as well?
Yeah, I think with this one, we've not had the clubs opposed to the format, and also issues about the appearance fee has not also dominated the headline. This is something to keep the women's game on its toes, and also to bring active football to all the sectors, not only with men's football, but with women's football as well. So this has been welcomed from the few checks. It's been welcomed, it's been welcomed by the parties involved. I'm talking about all the 16 clubs, grouped in 4, groups of 4.
Yeah. So going forward, I mean, we know women's football has been on a bit of a hiatus as well, just like the male version. What precisely should we look forward to, do you think?
We are looking forward to the teams that were dominant, and also to produce another set of players, to step in, for the Black Queens as they phase out, just to find new talents and also to get a bit of restructuring. I think that our inability to qualify for the World Cup has jostled the team a little bit. And if you check from the pairing, it's been done in such a way that, they play with familiar faces. Because if you look at, especially the Group D, for example, all the ladies in the Halifax, Samaria ladies, police ladies, and immigration from one zone. And then Group C, especially, is comprising teams from Western region and then Central region, with Papa Kwesi Ndum's Sea Lions, and then soccer intellectuals, as well as Kazakh ladies, and then ladies strikers. So it's not a bit of a cumbersome, format. It was easy. All they had to do was to go into the northern and southern sector and then split it into 2 to avoid, the hullabaloo and confusion and stampeding that has characterized the men's game with respect to the special competition for the Premier League class and also for the Division, 1 class. So this has been very smooth and plain sailing. Good. It's going to bring women's football back. My only fear is the tournament going to start on the day that it's been fixed? That's on the 9th of February. It's just around the same time that the men's game is supposed to start. We are not sure if the men's event or competition will also start. But this is good for women's football. At long last, there's something. So the issue of women's football being ignored by the normalization committee has been cured. And there are also other issues with respect to this competition where clubs are supposed to register 30 players, and the transfer window also has been opened, and it will end on January 31.
Many thanks, Redwan Ibrahim Asante. That's all time will allow us, but we appreciate your time. So Redwan is with the Joy Sports team. We will continue this conversation, you can imagine, once the statement has come out in subsequent editions. I'm Gary Al Smith, and that is the sport for now.